look at it is like, I'm a 3D printer and I have to 3D print a baby. Like that's pregnancy. And the ink for that 3D printing is food. So like, that's pretty cool. Like, you know, you basically set off this process where you're going to take food and food that is transformed into your body and then turn it into another body. And like, that's awesome. And every aspect of fertility, pregnancy success, postpartum, and childhood health are related to metabolism. Mm-hmm. And it's not even remotely a part of the conversation in OBGYN or urology. And I can't understand that, because literally like a baby is a 3D printed from food, and we don't talk about food as being a key factor of this. And then instead of addressing the metabolic factors, we just basically are fueling an industry of assisted reproductive technology, which doesn't address the root causes, mm-hmm. but profits hugely off very expensive procedures for people that are putting people into bankruptcy, and that are much less successful if you have metabolic dysfunction. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think these people who are so desperate to conceive, if they had the right information, like, oh, you need to stabilize your blood sugar, you need to get your insulin levels down, you need to avoid the environmental toxins, I think people would do it. Yeah. But they're not hearing it from their doctors. In fact, it's being sort of like, oh, like it's very patronizing the way it's sort of talked about, like as if these are kind of afterthoughts, but it's actually the core of the issue. And if you are successful in conceiving and you are successful with IVF or something like that, what's really amazing is, like I just mentioned, like if there is underlying metabolic issues, the pregnancy outcomes are worse, and then miscarriage rates are worse, in part because of placental dysfunction, PD. If you think about a placenta, it's so freaking cool. It's like you create an entire other organ when you're pregnant that is basically this interface between the baby and your body. And you're literally creating an entire new organ, the placenta, and it is so energetically hungry because it's creating a person. Mm-hmm. And so metabolic dysfunction really impacts the placenta. And, so we find that as placental dysfunction and its relationship to miscarriages is unfortunately higher if there's underlying mitochondrial dysfunction, because that placenta needs to do its work. And if it's underpowered, like it would make sense that there's going to be problems.